All right. Hello, everyone. I am Jenny Axler, and we'd like to welcome you to this webinar on our brand new Braille Sense 6, which will be released next month. I am joined by three members of our international sales team, Stella Key, Michael Coe, and Esther Lee. And we have, if you've noticed, a Hazel Key hosting. Our dear Stella has multiple personalities. No, she said I could say that. But no, actually, she just had a different English account she spent some time in the US and she had a different English name. So anyway, that's what's going on with that. So she is, in fact, the same Stella that you know and love. So anyway, we are going to show you several video clips today. We've pre-recorded a lot of this, and a lot of the reason that we did that is just to fit a lot into a small space. We wanted to make things compact and smooth. And so what we really want to focus on here are the differences between the new Braille Sense 6 and our Polaris. So we'll do that by introducing you to the marketing video. You may have already seen that, but for those who have not, we'll start with that so you have a general idea of what the Braille Sense 6 can do. And we'll also show our physical tour and a couple of other things. And then we'll cover some very specific areas, including speed and responsiveness, new features and apps, and just the general improvements that come from upgrading to Android 10 and what that's really done for us. So some of you may have seen this before, or some of it. We are not going to actually show you everything that we have done before. So if you stick around for about the first 10 minutes, you will get new material. So just hang tight. This is not all repetition, but for those who are not familiar with the Braille Sense 6, we did want to make sure to give an introduction. So we're going to go ahead and begin with the marketing video and a physical tour.
Introducing the HIMS Braille Sense 6, the most powerful, modern, and versatile Braille productivity tool available. Featuring upgrades of our classic blind-friendly applications paired with the latest hardware innovations and mainstream apps and services, the Braille Sense 6 is the center of your accessible workstation, whether you're a busy professional, a hardworking student, or entertaining yourself at home. With the power of Android 10 and its 4 USB ports, Braille Sense 6 gets even more power, versatility, and productivity when connected to compatible peripherals, including USB cameras for video chatting, OCR, or direct video recording. USB audio devices such as mixers and microphones for advanced audio production, mice, keyboards, and game controllers for additional interface options or remote controlling media playback, or USB monitors and tablets for sharing the visual screen with friends and colleagues. Want even more ways to connect and get things done? Use the built-in Google Assistant to command the Braille Sense 6 by voice, or download Amazon Alexa or other virtual assistant apps to control your compatible HomeKit devices, get news and weather, or entertain yourself with jokes and trivia. Braille Sense 6 is our slimmest, lightest, fastest, and most efficient Braille Sense yet. With a modern and upgradable Android operating system, it offers contemporary connectivity, apps and services, while maintaining the traditional HIMS Braille interface. Sporting an octa-core 2.0 GHz CPU, 6 GB of RAM, and 128 GB storage plus SD card slot, Braille Sense 6 offers intuitive accessibility while stacking up solidly against off-the-shelf phones and tablets. It supports 802.11 AC, dual-band multi-antenna Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth 5.1 and low energy, ensuring users can connect with all modern networks and wireless peripherals, including smartwatches and fitness and health monitors. Braille Sense 6 combine the world-class accessible interface HIMS is known for with the latest and greatest in mainstream technology, offering blind users an intuitive Braille-centric environment paired with modern productivity and connectivity tools that ensure comfortable and successful incorporation into the contemporary office or classroom, as well as modern social networking and entertainment services. HIMS Braille Sense 6, lifestyle innovations for your future.
So at first glance, this does look very much like our previous Polaris model. It is about 3.5 millimeters thinner, and it's a bit lighter at 705 grams. The top face does look very Braille Sense-ish, very familiar for those of you who know our products. We do have the stereo speakers at the top with the LCD in the center. Below that, we have a 9-key Perkins style keyboard with Control, Alt, and the 4 function keys, very similar to Polaris. However, this keyboard is actually quite different. It has a matte finish and it has a much lighter touch, and it also is much more responsive. You're going to have a really, really difficult time out typing this keyboard. So that is one of the huge improvements from our previous model. Below that, we do have our 32 cursor routers with a dot on each fifth one, and our 32 cells of Braille, of course, with the scroll keys on either side. So moving to the front edge, this is exactly like the Polaris. We have the power port on the right, then we have the 5 media controls. Next, we have the media mode switch, and finally we have the key lock switch. If I move around to the left edge, we have the volume buttons. Then we have the headphone and mic jacks, which now have Braille labels on the casing of the unit so that you cannot mess them up. Behind these, we have the full-size SD card slot. If I move around to the back here, we have only one item here. This is one of the USB host ports. This is a USB-A port. If I move around to the right edge, we have the rest of the USB ports. Nearest the rear is a USB-C port that is used for power. It is also Braille labeled with the letter P for power. I also say it's for power and PC because this is also the port that you use if you want to use the device in terminal mode, if you're using mass storage mode, and also if you're using a screen mirror. So anytime the Braille Sense 6 is hosted by another device, you'll use this port, and you'll also use it to charge the unit. In the center is another USB-A host port, and in the front is another USB-C port, this one with the Braille label V on it. And this is because this is a host port, but it's also specifically used for video out. If I flip over to the back here, this is going to look very familiar. Once again, we have the battery and the 13 megapixel camera. As you can see at first glance, it really does resemble the Polaris, but when you consider both the connectivity and ports, the internal specs and operating system, this is a seriously upgraded unit. Aside from, of course, the new hardware and software features, where this is most evident is in the speed and responsiveness compared to our previous models, as well as our competitors, as far as that goes. So we're now going to show a short video clip in which we will quickly go through a few normal tasks to demonstrate this. We'll start with some speed tests. The first thing I'm going to do is open a really large file. So I'll press enter on File Manager.
Flash disk 13 list item.
And I have my flash disk. I'll press enter
Books
here.
folder 116 list item.
And I'm going to open
Braille Sense U2 user manual. Ver 9.0. Doc 1616 list item.
And anyone who has used the U2 know that the Braille Sense U2 manual is like the length of a Stephen King novel, or at least close to it. It's about 460 pages. So I'm going to press enter, and it's going to launch the word processor and load this file. I'm going to press enter right now.
Loading. Braille Sense U2 use.
And I just pressed backspace enter to stop speech, but it's finished. It just, as soon as it started to say Braille Sense U2, it was loaded. So that is how quickly things load these days. All right, let's try
Braille Sense U2
copying a large file from a USB drive or a large folder.
Flash disk 13 list item. USB 23 list documents folder 113 list item.
I have a folder of YouTube videos that I want to copy.
YouTube folder 913 list item.
And before I do that, let's take a look at just how big it is. So I'm going to press enter I to get the information.
Type folder 1 folder S 70 file S exist static box.
And we're going to
size 872.98 megabytes static box.
So it's over 872 megabytes. I'll press F4.
YouTube folder 913 list item.
And I'm going to press enter C to copy.
YouTube folder not USB 23 flash disk 13 list books folder 116 list item.
And I'm just going to put this on the root. So we'll do enter V to paste right now.
Pasting. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 56, 65, 7, 80, YouTube, 85, 90, 95, 100. 1 objects copied. YouTube folder 1617 list item.
All right, and that is all it took. Again, things much, much faster. Okay, now let's check out opening a media file from Google Drive. So I'm going to press backspace.
Flash disk 13 list item.
And we'll go down to Google Drive.
US Google Drive 33 list item. Classroom folder 17 list item.
Okay, and remember that what I'm going to do is to open a file from the internet. So it's going to download and launch the media player. So we'll press S.
Sarah McLaughlin, Fallen MP367 list item.
And I'm going to press enter right now.
One objects copied. Sarah McLaughlin. Title, track 1 Sarah McLaughlin.
All right, and we are playing.
Sarah McLaughlin.
All right, how about web pages? Well, let's take a look at that. I will press space W, which is our global web address hotkey.
www.himsintl.com computer edit box.
And we'll go ahead and open the HIMSS INTL website, which is already filled in. I'll press enter right now.
Starting web browser. www.himsintl.com. Loading. HIMSS.
All right, and again, we are finished. Okay, so one of the things that's really impressed me about this unit is that it has more modern functionality than any note taker I've ever used, and yet it also has a ton of traditional things that we've actually brought back from old note takers or kept from old note takers, you know, that our loyal users have loved and depended on for years. So it's kind of that, it's amazing just this combination of modernity and tradition that we've managed to sort of I've recently told people that I feel like this is probably the only unit that I've ever used that I don't feel like compromises either way. It seems that something is either too Androidish or it's too traditional note taker and it doesn't do so well with the mainstream and modern functionality. And this device I really feel like is just fantastic on both counts. You know, we're able to now use the note taker to do a multimedia presentation over Zoom or Teams with our peripherals. We can, you know, connect webcams and mixers and show videos. And it's part of the reason was that things weren't as quick on the Polaris, you know, as far as like showing a video over Zoom or something like that. So even the added specifications help here in addition to being able to support external peripherals. So that to me has just been fascinating because I love the multimedia stuff, of course. But we've also kept things like our macro manager that's been a staple of note takers for what, 30 years? I mean, these went all the way back to the Braille and Speak, and we're still doing that. But we are able to use them with the third-party applications in Android as well. So we've been able to modernize this function. In this next video clip, this is going to be a bit longer because we are going to explore several of our new apps and software utilities. Some of them are new to they're all new to the Braille Sense 6. Some of them are new in general. Some of them actually have been brought back from the U2, like our Bookshare and our web radio and things like that. So we will do more of that. We're actually going to continue to bring back some old favorites as well as continue to add new functionality. So we really want to make sure that this is the best note taker yet. So again, we're going to now show some additional clips for you of new functions and things we've brought back by popular request. We're going to explore the new software features in the Braille Sense 6 that are different from Polaris or additional. So we'll go ahead and get started. We'll start from our main menu. And we're going to go down the list.
Word processor, double notepad, N, email, E.
Now, I'm not going to demo anything here, but I do want to mention quickly that in email, we have combined the email and the Exchange email programs. There's nothing really new here except that they are now one. I'm going to move down
Media, M.
to media. And the first thing that I want to demo to you is the web radio in the media player. This was actually in the U2, and we've added something very similar to the Braille Sense 6. So I'll press enter on the media player.
Media player, M. Title, track 1 Sarah McLaughlin, Fallen M.
Okay, and it's just showing the last thing I played. I'm going to go into the menus with the F2 key.
File, F, pull down web radio, W, pull down menu.
And I actually went backwards with space 1, and here's the web radio menu. I'm going to press enter here.
Channel list, C, dialog enter C menu item.
So I have two items. I have the channel list
Channel search, S, dialog backspace E menu item.
and the channel search. And considering that in order to put things in the channel list, we first have to search for them, I'm going to start there. So I'll press enter
Channel
here.
search dialog. Search mode, category 1 to combo box.
So the first thing I have is search mode, and I have two items here. I have category
Word combo box.
or word. Word is the simplest one. If I press F3 here,
Search word, edit box.
I simply search for a word and I can press enter. I'm going to go back with space F3
Search mode, word combo box.
and use space 1 to go
Category combo box.
to category because this is a little more interesting. So I'll press F3 here.
Country, Afghanistan combo box.
So the first thing I get to do is choose my country. We do have a web radio search database of worldwide stations. So I'm going to choose the United States.
USA combo box.
And I just press the letter U to do that. I'm going to press F3.
Language, Afrikaans combo box.
And now again, I have a language selection. I'll press the letter E.
English combo box.
And I have English. Now I'm going to press F3 one more time.
Genre, 50s, 60s combo box.
So now I have all kinds of genres. So I have the 50s, 60s. If I press space 4.
70s, 80s combo box.
70s, 80s.
90s combo box.
90s. So let's see what's in there. I'm going to press F3.
Result list, Big R Radio 90s FM URL, HTTP, 107.155.111.234, 8,200, 977 Music 90s URL, HTTP, 100 Hits 90s Alternative URL, HTTP, 181, FM, Light 90s URL, HTTP, related.
Okay, so it's just reading these, and I'm going to press enter on 181 FM Light 90s.
Successfully added. Result list, 108.
So what that actually did was add it to my channel list. Now, if I press F3 again,
Description, channel Light 90s of Internet Radio 181 FM edit box.
I get a little bit more, and I can, again, this is just a normal edit box. I can use space 4 and space 1 to read. Let me press F3 one more time.
Add channel button.
I can use the add channel button.
Play button.
Or now I can just play it. So I'll press enter.
Loading. Title, track 1 play static box.
Progressive presents The Sounds of the Old World. The year is 29.
Stop. Title,
Okay.
track 1 stops.
Well, we do have advertisements, so unfortunately that wasn't all that interesting, but you can hear that it is actually streaming. So now let's go back to our web radio menu.
File, F, web radio, W, channel list, C, dialog enter C menu
And this
item.
time I'm going to go to the channel list.
Channel list dialog. Channel list, 181, FM, Light 90s 11 list item.
And there you can see that when I pressed enter on that channel and it said it was added, it truly was added to my channel list. From here, I could just press enter to play it. That in a nutshell is the web radio.
File manager, F.
So let's take a look at the database manager now. The database manager is another thing that we've brought over from the YouTube by popular request to the BrailleSense 6. So I'm going to press the letter O to get to the organizer menu.
Address manager, A.
And I'll arrow down.
Schedule manager, database manager, D.
And I'll press enter here.
No tables have been created. Table name, no items list item.
So it's letting me know that there's nothing here. Now, what this program does is allow you to create a database of information. So let me quickly demonstrate how to add a table and add fields to it. Right now, it's in an edit box. It wants the table name. So I'm going to call this one Home Inventory.
Home.
And I'll press enter.
There are no fields. Table name, home inventory edit box.
Okay, so now I need to add a field. So I'm going to press F3.
Field, no items list, add field, enter I, dialog button.
And of course, there are shortcuts as it's announcing. I'm going to press enter here.
Add field dialog. Field name, edit box.
And I'll call this product. Okay, I'm going to press F3.
Field type, edit box combo box.
Now I get to choose the field type, and there are several things to choose from. So let's actually go through those quickly. I'm going to press space 4.
Number combo box. Computer edit box combo box. Multi-line edit box combo box. Date combo box. Time combo box. Checkbox combo box. Edit box combo box.
And now we've wrapped back around to edit box. So you can define these in a way that will help you know what you're supposed to enter and help the unit know how to interpret the Braille that you are entering. So this is an edit box, so that'll be fine.
Set primary key checkbox unchecked.
Now I can choose if I would like this to be the primary field, and I actually would. So I'm going to check that.
Set primary key checkbox checked.
Because this will be the primary field that I would use to search, etc.
Confirm button.
And I can press enter on confirm.
New field added. Field product, edit box, primary, 1 list item.
So I'm going to add one more field just so I can show you how to do
Add
that.
field, enter I, dialog button. Add field dialog. Field name, edit box.
Okay, so this one I'm going to type company website.
Company.
Okay.
Field type, edit box combo box.
And it's going to be most appropriate to use a computer edit box for this one.
Number combo box, computer edit box combo box.
Okay, and I'll
Confirm button, cancel button.
and I've already got a primary key set, so it doesn't give me that option now. So we're going to go to confirm
Confirm button.
and
New
press
field added.
enter.
Field company website, computer edit box, 2 list item.
So now I have 2 fields. Now, of course, I could add as many fields as I want, but for the sake of brevity, we're going to go ahead and save this. So now that I have fields entered, I have a few more things in this dialog also. So I'll press F3.
Add field, enter I, dialog button.
So again, I can add field.
Modify field, enter M, delete field, space previous field, enter next field, enter confirm button.
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and confirm.
Successfully added table. Home inventory 1 list item.
All right, so now I have a table name and it lists it here. So let's press enter here.
Search home inventory. Product edit box.
So what it allows me to do is search very similarly to the address manager. Of course, I have nothing in here. So let me press F2 here.
File, F, pull down menu, import from CSV, exit, Z, space Z menu item.
So I could actually import from another database. I'm going to press F4.
File, F, edit, E, pull down, insert a new record, I, dialog enter a menu item.
And this is what we're going to do. So I'll press enter here.
Add home inventory dialog. Product edit box.
So I could just say, I don't know, microwave. Okay, and I'm going to press F3.
Company website computer edit box.
And we'll just do www.samsung.com. I have no idea if that's actually their website, but we'll just press enter here.
Successfully inserted. Product edit box.
So now that's how you add a record. And again, you can add as many records as you want. You can use the search dialog just as you do with the address manager. You use F3 and space F3 to navigate it. And it's generally that simple. You can create anything. I mean, that's the great thing about this database. I knew someone who created a list of books that she read, and she had different fields with comments and authors and published dates and various things. This is completely open to however you want to use it.
File manager, F.
So we've returned again to the main menu, and this time we're going to take a look at the Bookshare download application. This is another one that we have brought from the U2 and Blaze and given new life on the Braille Sense 6. So it's located in the extras menu, so I'll press the letter X.
Excel viewer, X.
And it's the last item, so I'll press space 456.
Bookshare download, B.
And I'll press enter here.
Login success. Books 1-3 list item.
So the first thing it did was log me into my account. I have saved my login settings in here, so it's very nice and convenient that way. So now I have different search types. I have books,
Periodicals 2-3 list item.
periodicals,
History 3-3 list item.
and my download history. I'm going to go back up to
Periodicals
books,
2 books 1-3 list item.
and I'm going to press F3.
Search type Word 1-3 list item.
And I have 3 types of searches. I have Word,
Category 2-3 list item.
category,
Full text 3-3 list item.
or full text. And again, full text is going to mean that you'll search for words within the actual text of the various selections. If I go back
Category
to
2-3 Word 1-3 list item.
and I press F3,
Title, author or ISBN, edit box.
I'm going to search for title, author, or ISBN. So we'll just make things simple and universal, and I'll search for Harry Potter.
Harry.
And we're going to press enter, and it's now doing the search.
Results. Harry Potter y la Piedra Filosofal.
And I've got some Spanish intermixed here, so I'm going to go down.
Harry
7.
Potter while Harry Potter while College Harry Potter while Harry Potter while Prisoner Harry Potter while Mystery Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Harry Potter 3 750 list item.
And there we go. Now we have English. So I'm actually going to go down a little bit and get the last book.
Harry Potter and the Goblet. Harry Potter and the Philosopher. Harry Potter and the Chamber. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Harry Potter and the Sorcerers. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Harry Potter 7 1550 list item.
All right, let's get this one. I'll press enter now. And I'm seeing progress across the Braille display, although it is not saying anything. This is a long book. If any of you have read it, you know that. It's the longest one in the series. And
Download complete.
all right.
Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. 100. Notice. I. Pause.
Okay, so what it did is it actually downloaded it, it unzipped, and it opened in the Daisy player. Now you can set it not to do that. You can just set it to download and unzip, or just set it to download. But I had it do everything automatically, and it is that simple.
File Manager. F.
The last thing I want to show you is something new in our settings menu that allows you to create language profiles. I'll press the letter S to open settings,
Set time and date. T.
and I'll press L for language profiles.
Language profiles dialog. Profile. Default profile 1 to list item.
So there are two profiles here. One of them is the default profile. This will always appear and will consist of the settings that you set in your global options concerning voice, concerning Braille code, etc. The second one here that I have
French 2 to list item.
is one that I created for French. Now I'm going to press F3
Add. Enter a dialog button.
and I've got the usual dialogue. I've got add,
Modify. Enter. Delete. Space. Confirm button. Profile. French 2 to list item. Add. Enter a dialog button.
and we wrapped around to add, and I'm going to press enter this time.
Add dialog. Profile. Edit box.
And the first thing it wants me to do is name it. This one I'll name Spanish. And I'll press F3.
Language. English. United States. 848 list item.
So now it wants me to choose the system language. Now, you may actually want to keep this at English or whatever your native language is. This is what's great about this profile. You can keep your system language, but you can change your TTS and Braille code to a different language. Now, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave it as English, and I'll press F3.
Braille code. US 123 list item.
Now this, of course, I do want to change to Spanish, so I'm going to,
UEB 223 Spanish 320 Spanish. Liblawis 423 list item.
I want the Spanish LibLewis code, so I'm going to keep this. I'll press F3,
View input grade. Computer Braille 13 list item.
and it gives me now the options for the view input grade.
Uncontracted Braille 23 list item.
And this is what I would like is uncontracted Braille, because that's the way that I'm used to dealing with the Spanish Braille code.
Voice type. Braille Sense Vocalizer 1 2 list item.
Now I can choose my voice. So I'm going to go with Braille Sense Vocalizer.
Voice name. English Samantha 611 list item.
Now I want to find my Spanish voice.
UK English L English Nathan Spanish Marisol 911 list item.
So we'll go with this.
Use secondary voice. Off 1 2 list item.
Now, what this would allow me to do is to switch between English and Spanish in a document if I have a mixed language. So if I actually turn this on, it would speak English when I have it, English text, and then it would speak Spanish when I have Spanish text. This might be useful if you're learning a foreign language and you have English instruction in a textbook. For now, I'll leave this off.
Voice rate. 5512 list item.
Now I'm allowed to choose my voice rate, which again, you may want to have slower in a foreign language. Again, I'll go,
Voice pitch. 5510 list item.
and I'm also allowed to choose my voice pitch.
Confirm button.
Okay, and I'll just press enter to save it.
Save complete. Profile. Spanish 3 list item.
Now you can choose one of these profiles at any time from anywhere on the unit with a global hotkey, F1L. So I'll press that.
Select language profile dialog. Profile. Default profile 1 3 list item.
So now I can simply go to this
French 2 3 list item. Spanish 3 list item.
and press enter.
Profile. Spanish 3 list item.
And we've switched to the Spanish profile. And in this video on the Braille Sense 6, we're going to take a look at the improvements in terms of some of the video applications that we all love to use right now to stream and watch things live from home, etc. And although these did work on Polaris just fine, they are actually much improved on the Braille Sense 6. So we'll start by taking a look at Netflix. So I'm at my main menu and I'll press A for all apps.
11,000 quotes. Saying status.
And N for Netflix, and press enter.
List Vincenzo.
And I want to go to my list. The easiest way to do this, because there's a lot of M's, is to go to the search button
Button search. Press enter to activate.
and go back one.
Button my list. Press enter to activate.
So I'll press enter here.
Button Bridgerton list 5 items. Press enter to activate. 0.
So I have a few shows in my list and I want to watch The Big Bang Theory. So I'll press the letter T
Button The Big Bang Theory. Press enter to activate.
and
1.
press enter.
Button unlabeled. Press enter to activate.
And now, probably the easiest way to get to playing an episode, I can, of course, press F3 to go through
Button home,
here.
press enter to button downloads, button more, press button kids, list the Big Bang Theory 97 match 2018, button rated 15, press enter, button play the Big Bang, button download, press enter to activate, button starting, switch on, remove from my, button rate this video, button share, press enter to, button episodes, press enter, button more like this, press enter to, button season 1, press enter, button episode 1, pilot. When a pretty girl named Penny moves across the hall, socially awkward scientist Leonard is in, button play episode, press enter, button unlabeled, press enter to active, button download, press enter to active, button
Hold on,
episode
we'll
2,
go
the Big
to.
Brain Hypothesis, button play episode, press enter to activate, 318.
And we'll press enter here and we'll play it.
Button show controls, press enter to activate. Button
Here
navigate,
you
press enter to
go,
activate.
pad thai, no peanut.
Does it have peanut oil?
I'm not sure. Everyone keep an
Button
eye on
rated 12.
Howard in case he starts to swell up.
Since it's not bee season, you can have my epinephrine.
Are there any chopsticks? You don't need chopsticks. This is Thai food.
Here we go.
Button unlabeled, press enter.
So I just pressed F4 to stop playing, but as you can see, it's very easy to play from Netflix. So as you can see, there's a lot on the screen. If you know where you're going, of course, you can use first letter nav and it goes very quickly. But even if you do have to navigate, it's very responsive when you're pressing F3 and space F3, and much more so than our previous model. So let's go ahead and do a search. So I'll press S.
Button search, press enter to activate.
And I'll press enter here. And it's ready for search content. So let's type Breaking Bad. And
button Breaking Bad row 1 column 1 and grid 17 rows, 3 columns, press enter to activate.
And it automatically pops up here. So again, I can press F3.
Button El Camino, A break button the road to El Camino, button Better Call Saul row 2 column 1, press enter to activate.
So all of these things are related to Breaking Bad if you're familiar with the show. So I'm getting all kinds of search results, Breaking Bad movies, Better Call Saul, and of course the Breaking Bad show. So again, very, very simple and very quick. All right, let's take a look at YouTube. So I'm going to close this.
Netflix.
And I'll press the letter Y to go to YouTube. And I'll press enter.
List YouTube, home.
So again, I'm going to do a search. So I'll press the letter S.
Button search, press enter to activate.
And I'll press enter.
Button Braille Listen 6 and list 30 items, press enter to.
And hey, look at that. We've obviously done a search for our own product before. So let's just use that.
Button Braille Listen 6, press enter to activate.
Press
1
enter.
button cast, disconnected, press enter to activate.
And let's press F3 to go forward and see what we have.
Button filter, press button more option, button Braille Sense, button go to channel, press enter to activate. Button action menu, press enter to activate. Button webinar Wednesday, Braille Sense 6 Brilliance, 1 hour, 42 minutes. Go to channel, Sight Sound Technology Limited.
So this is a webinar I actually did for Sight and Sound. So let's play that. Why not?
List button minimize, press enter to
So
activate.
welcome everybody to Webinar Wednesday from Sight and Sound
Button disabled previous
Technology.
video.
Great to be back
Button
as
pause video,
always.
press enter to
My name
activate.
is
So that was Mr. Stuart Lawler coming to you from Sight and Sound Ireland. And I paused the video because there's a couple things that I'd like to point out specifically to the visually impaired users listening to this. When you're showing a video to sighted people on YouTube, there are a couple things that you want to do. The first thing you want to do is enter full screen mode. So I'm going to press the letter E.
Button enter full screen, press enter to activate.
And I'll press enter here.
Button minimize, press enter
to do that. And now, of course, it says minimize. The other thing that you want to do is hide the controls so that you don't see the play, pause, and all of that stuff. The only thing about that is you've got to do that while it's playing. So I am going to restart the playback and then I will hide the controls.
Button disabled previous video. Button play video, press enter to activate.
Stuart Lawler and my
hide controls,
colleague
press
Carl
enter to activate.
Braley
Seat controls 0
live
minutes,
from our
9
new
seconds, 1 hour,
offices
42 minutes.
is
And I have
joining
now
us.
done that.
Carl's in situ in
We'll
our
go
new
ahead and
offices.
close.
YouTube.
Okay, and of course, to stop being interrupted, I did have to go ahead and close the video. But again, this makes it very easy if you want to share videos with your family, or if you just want to search for music videos or anything. There's so much stuff on YouTube and Netflix, and it doesn't matter if it's Disney Plus, if it's Peacock. Almost all of these streaming services do work very, very well on the Braille Sense 6. So it's really great, especially to use first letter nav compared to like a touch screen where you have to, navigate around everything. So once again, navigation and playback is very easy. Again, first letter nav really helps you out, especially when you know what you're doing. It's actually much faster than using a touch screen. Being able to just jump where you need to go is super convenient. And all of the streaming services generally work well, whether you're talking about Hulu or Peacock or Disney Plus. We're able to use all of them on Braille Sense 6. So whether you're sharing videos with your family or whether you're just, for your own entertainment, it is a really, really nice way to access these services. And of course, when you're using YouTube, you also could have searched with your voice. I didn't do that, but you can. So anyway, we hope you enjoyed this. Sorry about that. We had some repetition there at the end. That was an editing mistake. So oops, we'll fix that. We did a couple of takes of the same thing, obviously. So anyway, of course, if you want information about any of our products, feel free to contact us, email us at hymns@selvishc.com or visit our website. And that will wrap it up for the presentation part of it. Now we will open it up for questions if you have anything else you'd like to ask us about Braille Sense 6, or, well, we want to try to keep it to Braille Sense 6, but if you have questions about our other products, we'll try to entertain those as well.